You've been around here for some cold weeks before. How does this one compare?
It's pretty cold. It reminds me of the last time, well, not the last time, but 2013 when we played San Fran here in the playoffs. It was pretty cold that week too, so a little similar to that.
MK Burgess.
Randall, you were mentioning just how you've been around for a lot of big time matchups, but with this team in this run, what would it mean to get to that ultimate prize, the Super Bowl?
Just looking at the journey, it would mean everything. Just being able to come back, it definitely would be a storybook ending for this year. Everything that has happened through the course of the season, for us to have so many guys that we lost, including myself throughout the season, me getting traded back here and being a part of it. Last year I was watching the past 2 years. I've been watching the playoffs from the couch. Past 4 years I've been watching the playoffs from the couch. I haven't seen the playoffs since 2016. So I'm really excited for the opportunity just to be out there and help contribute.
Brian Wood.
Rand, I'm curious what you see from Alan Lazard late in the season as he's just kind of gone off a little bit. It seems like he's taken his game to a new level. I'm curious from your perspective, why do you think he's done that?
I think it's his preparation. I think the way that he goes into every week, the confidence, obviously continuing to build confidence in himself. He knows what kind of player he can be, and he's continuing to push that envelope every week. You see it in practice. You see it in meeting rooms. You see him taking notes and his attention to detail. And we get on to the practice field and his attention to detail with practice. And then it comes down to opportunities. And he's made every single one of them. So you love to see it. I think his stocks continue to go up. The rise is beautiful. And that's what we need. We need players like him to continue to step up in big moments, and we're going to need that this week through the playoffs.
Mark Daniels.
Hey, Randall, got me?
Gotcha.
Hey, can you just talk about the drive you had to pull out of yourself to get back here in time for this?
I'm not gonna be overzealous about my situation. This is easy. I didn't have a real injury. I wasn't really going. I had a real injury. Obviously, I had core surgery and bouncing back. But there's people out there that's going through real life things. Single mothers that's trying to raise 2 kids. What I did to get back is not a big deal. I'm coming back to play a football game. I did everything in my will to will myself back. I did everything I could to will myself back for these playoffs. My injury, they said 6 to 8 weeks, and I think I was ready in 4.5, 5. I could have played at 5 weeks, but obviously having a little extra time with us having a bye was huge for my recovery.
Jason Wilde.
Hey, Randall, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So Devontae was saying the other day that maybe Aaron's gotten a little soft in his old age with how he gets after guys, because I asked him about that. And it does seem like there's a little less of the throwing the arms up or getting after guys on the field. And Aaron even said that that's maybe been an evolution for him. You've known him for a really long time. You've been his friend for a really long time. Has that changed either in the last few years that you were with him or since you've been back? Have you noticed that being different on the field getting after guys?
Yeah, I would say definitely since I've been back. I think it was still a little bit of that when I was here before. So, I think he takes a different approach. Yes, he still has his moments and he does that, but overall, he picks and chooses. And I think he's evolving like all of us, right? We continue to grow, learn a little bit about ourselves, learn about the people around us. And I think he understands that not everybody can handle it or take certain criticism in certain situations or corrective criticism, I should say, because at the end of the day, it's all about us trying to get better and better each other to help better this team. So that's the approach he's always taken. But, obviously just being able to do it in different ways and learn a little bit more about himself and being able to help other people around him.
Mike Clemens.
When we hear the word surgery, we're amazed that you're back on the field in the time that you did. Was this the biggest challenge for an injury that you've had in your career? And secondly, around the bye week, Dave posted this video of you scaring Aaron. What was going on there?
So first question, yeah, surgery is surgery, and I think it varies because of the way that people go through their process. And for me, it was a day-to-day thing. I was trying to see daily improvements, and luckily, this is the first time I've had a muscle surgery. So being able to understand that it's sewn back together, it's healed up, it's just continuing to push that envelope every day. And I give credit to our training staff here, the surgeon, Dr. Myers in Philly. He did an amazing job, and they walked me through the entire process. The PT team there, and one of the yoga instructors that they had. I worked with her every single day for the first 21 days, and just the improvement that I saw day to day, and being able to build strength and build flexibility in the muscles that I needed was huge. Second question was scaring Aaron. Yeah, that was an old video. I should have made a compilation because I got a bunch of them. I get him all the time. Whether we're in the facility. That was actually, I think, in the hotel room before the Jacksonville game. Yeah, so I get him pretty good all the time.
Dave Schrader.
Hey, Randall, I'm just curious what this month, these 3 wins you need, mean to you. You were drafted right after the Packers won a Super Bowl. Your rookie year, your team goes 15-1. You fight back from the big injury in Baltimore in 13. You've been so close so many times. You had to go to Dallas, had to go to Houston. What do 3 wins mean in terms of the mindset you have and what that would mean for you and your family and all those who have allowed you to chase your dreams?
Well, this isn't going to be a cry session if that's what you're looking for. I know that podcast just came out, and some people might have heard it and heard the tears. I got all that out of me now. No, it would mean a lot to me. Like you said, when I got drafted here, it was right after the Super Bowl. We went 15-1. I thought we were going that year. I thought we were going in 14. Obviously, 16, the loss in Atlanta, and I haven't been there since then. And I've been watching from the couch. I've been watching just like y'all, screaming at the TV, cussing people out because I still knew a little bit that was happening with some of the signals and stuff, and it was rough. It was hard. I was definitely in a dark place when they played the 49ers in San Francisco, because in my mind, I'm like, man, they won the year before I got there and they won the year after I left, or they're getting ready to go the year after I left. So I must have been the problem. It must have been me. So I was definitely in a dark place that year, but I'm just happy to be a part of it, happy to have the opportunity to contribute and to do my part. We talk about 1/11th, and I'm one man, I'm one piece to the puzzle, and I'm going to do everything in my willpower to make this happen, and it's one game at a time. Luckily enough for us, it's here at Lambeau. We got the weather, we got our fans backing us, we got everything we need. We know what we have to do, but it's about doing it. And the better team doesn't always win in the playoffs, and we have to prove we're the number 1 seed for a reason.
How about those who have helped you get here? You mentioned them on the podcast. Could you talk about some of the things others did to allow you to chase this dream and what it would mean to tell them you're a champ? For sure.
It's been a long journey. People may look at me and see a millionaire and think about all the money that I've made, but I grew up in a trailer park. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in a neighborhood where I heard gunshots all the time. I've seen a lot of things in my life, and my parents have went through a lot. They sacrificed a lot for me to play sports. I used to do travel baseball. My dad would take me 45 minutes to practice twice a week, 30 minutes to games twice a week. We would travel every weekend for baseball tournaments. He would drive me around, to every college in the South for me to try to get a scholarship. And I had a lot of people tell me no, that I'd never be a Division I athlete, that I could never play at that level. But he was the one that was always in my ear, reminding me of who I was and what I could do and what I was capable of. My mom, she sacrificed, worked multiple jobs to provide for us. And it wasn't just me. I had siblings too, and they were there to support me through the entire process. And many coaches throughout my time, from grasshoppers. I remember having a playbook as a 7-year-old and studying that playbook. You know, it's those little things. And when you get to this moment and you get to this level in your career and you look back on all the memories, and I think about my kids and, you know, how I want to, what kind of legacy I want to leave for them. And I don't take any of it for granted. I think I may have before I had kids, and now that I have kids, it's kind of, it flips something in you, and I think any parent can understand that. But the journey has been a long journey, and yes, I'm only 31, but it's been a long journey, and I've seen a lot, I've done a lot. Football has provided a lot for me, but I know that Super Bowl is the pinnacle of what we chase, what we're after. I've won state championships in high school, but it's nothing like winning a Super Bowl when you do it with the best players in the world on the best level as far as playing in the NFL and having an opportunity. And I don't take any of that for granted.
Tim Van Buren.
Good afternoon, Randall. It's funny that you're talking about that. I was going to go with the same general area. As an active player, how much do you think about a football legacy, and how much is it influenced by this time of year?
I think it changes from time to time. People probably, you know, for me, I try to, especially towards the end of the season or in the off season, just think back on the past year. And as these years continue to stack up, I think about the career and the turning points of things that's happened throughout my career. But yeah, what legacy, what do you want to be remembered for? And you know, obviously as a Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl champion, that's something that adds to your career.
Aaron Nagler.
Randall, thinking back to this summer, the news breaking that you were on your way back to Green Bay, what does it mean to you that Aaron Rodgers basically said, I'm not coming back without Randall? Like, the idea that you're here on the precipice of a Super Bowl run due to one of your best friends saying, I want my guy with me.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it gives you the confidence in the world, right? Like, one of the best players in the history of the game is asking for you, saying he needs you. And some people may look at it as pressure, but for me, I just look at it as he trusts me. He knows who I am. He knows what I'm capable of, and he believes in me. And that's all I need. All I need is one person to believe in me, and he's been that guy. He's been that guy throughout my career since I've been in the league, and I try to prove him right every chance I get. So, you know, fortunately, I have to deal with injuries, and I've dealt with injuries throughout my career. But every time I come back from one, something great happens. So hopefully we keep that streak going.
Cassidy Hill.
Hey, Randall, kind of building off of that, when you did come back, you and Aaron sort of made it all about, like, you know, this is the last dance, we're going to do this. I know you talked about what it would mean to get to the Super Bowl, but is there any extra pressure this year, maybe more than any other years, because of what you sort of made it into before the season started?
Some people could say that. For me, I don't see it as pressure. We play a game, and like I said, I'm so thankful for this game and everything it's given me. But I've lost in these moments so many times. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself because I've done it before. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play ball. I'm going to do what I know how to do. Whenever I get my opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it. Whenever it's in a run game and I got to make a crucial block, I'm going to be there to make my block. I'm going to do what's needed of me. I'm going to do my 1/11th. So the pressure is we don't need to add any extra pressure. We got enough pressure on our lives, living enough. So I'm just going out there and playing ball.
We'll do two more. Jim Trotter.
Hey, Randall, I'm curious. You talked about in the 2019 season thinking they're going to the Super Bowl and not being a part of it, and how you were in a dark place. For an ultimate competitor, obviously the Super Bowl is what you're chasing. I just wonder if you could put more meat on the bone in terms of what you mean by being in a dark place. What does that look like? What does that feel like with you?
I wish my wife was here to answer the question, because I remember the day of that game, like I couldn't talk. I didn't want to be around anybody. I was sitting in a room by myself. I wouldn't even let her watch the game with me. I went in a room by myself and watched the game, and it was a dark place. I was actually really worried about myself mentally. because I just didn't know. I really thought that, like, dang, I must really be the problem. Like, it must have really been me. Like, and, you know, again, that might be the pressure that I put on myself in those situations, that scenario. But, yeah, I mean, for me to be on a team for 8 years and they win the Super Bowl the year before, we have some success through my career, and then they are getting ready to go to the Super Bowl the year after I leave, that was heavy. That was heavy for me to deal with. But, you know, we're here. We're here now, and we got an opportunity in front of us.
And how do you get past that?
Well, they didn't go. So as sad I was for my friends, I was kind of happy for my mental health.
And last one, Ryan Wood.
Randall, going back to the injury, what the heck happened for that injury? Because it just seemed like you scored a touchdown and then you were gone, and we haven't seen you since then. And
Yeah.
how frustrating was that for you? I mean, you never want to get injured, but of all the times in the world to have that first half that you did, and you're kind of in that groove, and then not be able to get back on the field. So what happened, and how frustrating was that?
It was on a touchdown. Whenever I caught the ball, I had my back turned, I was spinning into the end zone, and I got hit by one of the Rams linebackers. And as soon as I got hit, I felt something pop or tear. I didn't know what it was. And then Tay and Lazard was pushing me back and forth, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Something ain't right. And as I was jogging off the sideline, I told one of our trainers, I don't know what happened, but something popped. I felt something pop, and I think it was right before a 2-minute drive, so I just stayed on the sideline for that 2-minute drive, and then we got to the locker room, and they examined me, and I really didn't have any strength in being able to lift up my leg. So I got it scanned the next day, and we found out that I had my rectus and my adductors I had popped both of those.